Macy's also telling us that although there have been capacity limitation at some facilities, packages continue to flow through their network. The retailer also saying, quote, "We have partnered closely with UPS to collaborate and prioritize our shipments to make sure they are moving each customer order efficiently and timely." For more on all of this, let's bring in Terry Lundgren. He's former Macy's chairman and CEO. Welcome back, Terry. So if you're a CEO at one of these companies and get notified by UPS of this, what do you do?
This is not really out of the norm. The only thing that's out of norm is that package delivery has skyrocketed, of course, driven by online purchases taking a bigger percent of the pie versus overall sales. That's what's driving this, I guess, this news. But the reality is every November and December, all retailers, big retailers certainly, have a forecast, a plan of what they expect to deliver in terms of packages. They have to give that and work with people like UPS and FedEx and others so that they can plan for it. You know, and if they're beyond that level, of course, you know, that puts a strain on the delivery carrier services. And so this is normal stuff. The difference is, of course, is that business is booming for these carriers. I went to the horse's mouth. I talked to Macy's directly about this after learning about this article, and what they've said is exactly what Nike has said, and you've read some of the statements there, and that they actually feel like they're in good shape. They have a very good working relationship with UPS and the other delivery services, and so they think they're okay now, but they do expect, of course, volume to improve. What you do, to your question, Sarah, is that you really push aggressively the buy online and pick up in store, BOPS. And I have a new acronym, and it's called BOPIM, buy online and pick up in mall. And there are companies now that are organizing to consolidate all of the packages from all of the various shops in the mall and then pulling them all together for your either delivery or pickup curbside. So I think that's what these retailers are going to do, probably even incent the customer to do that, because there is no delivery charge, of course. And so I think that's a way to offset some of this.
Yeah, give us bigger sales to go pick it up ourselves. So, Terry, who's going to win this holiday season? Who's surprising you as far as their pivot to online or to pick up in store, these sort of strategies that appear to be working and are going to work as long as the cases remain very high in this country?
Yeah, well, and by the way, Sarah, you know, I think 3 months ago, most retailers were anticipating that their stores would be open, they'd be operating, maybe not at full capacity, but certainly more so than we are today. And so that has required a pivot for all retailers. But having said that, I've talked to you in the past about essential versus non-essential classified retailers, and the guys and the retailers that were essential, you know, the Amazon and the Walmarts and the Targets and the Home Depots and the Lowe's, they've been cranking along and not just performing well, but they've been fine-tuning their omni-channel strategy and how that consumer is responding. Those other retailers, the mall-based retailers that have been forced to have been closed for several months, were stalled. You know, they were stalled. They didn't have employees. They had furloughs. They had a major setback. You know, and so they're cranking back up. The good news is that I think stores like Macy's, stores like Nordstrom already have a very strong omni-channel business. And as this turns, they're in position to manage the change in the shopping environment of more sales going toward the online, more sales going to curbside, more sales going to pick up in mall, pick up in store.
Terry, do you think that next year, if everything goes well with the vaccine rollout, we have a blowout year for the consumer? There's lots of talk about various parts of the economy that can bounce back. Is the consumer one of them?
Oh, definitely. You know, I have to tell you that the consumer today has $1 trillion more in spending power, firepower, than they did a year ago. And that's driven by, of course, stimulus packages certainly help that. But their savings rate, even though it's come down, it's down to 13.5%. It's very, very high versus relative years, one. And two is they have less debt. So they've got the money to spend. Will they spend it all this holiday season? I doubt it. But they're going to continue that high savings rate, I believe. But they will spend more. They have the potential to spend more and to carry that into 2021. And again, you know, you're going against softer numbers for these non-essential retailers. The retailers that I mentioned in that essential category are going against very strong numbers. They're now going to have more competition in 2021 when these other retailers that are coming out are going strong. Now, having said that, in your earlier question, there are going to be losers, and there are going to be companies that are going to simply go away, and there are going to be others that are going to be closing many, many stores, and it will actually ramp out to thousands of stores in 2021. I actually, as difficult as that is on the individual company and the people that are impacted by that, it's actually important thing to happen in terms of supply and demand, in terms of retail space in the United States, where we are way over space. I think this will actually be good for the survivors, and they will actually get stronger because they'll have the appropriate amount of competition for all of these goods. There'll be more demand for the amount of retail stores that are out there, and so there's actually many are going to benefit from this over time.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.